In this video, you will learn how to cut and stitch the best DIY Ankara shorts with an elastic waistband. It is super detailed and beginner friendly, trust me. These are all the measurements and tools you need to make your Ankara shorts. You can find a full list in my description box below. Now let's get started. We will start by drafting the back shorts pattern. Go to the edge of the paper, mark 1 inch and draw a straight line across. Also check my description box or the screen for a link to a video on all you need to know before drafting shorts or pants. At the top of the paper, mark 3 inches down and draw a straight line across to form the waistline. The 3 inches before this line will be for the elastic band. From the 3-inch line, you will mark down the hip depth and draw a straight line across to form the hip line. Your hip depth is your waist to hip measurement. Mine is 8 inches. It differs from person to person. It can be 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, or even up to 10 or 10.5, depending on the individual. Also, from the 3-inch line, mark down the crouch depth and draw a straight line across to form your crouch line. And your crouch depth is your waist to the seat or chair while sitting down. Now I will label the waistline, hip line and crouch line. For your back shorts pattern, divide your hip measurement by 4 and add 1/4 inch. Mark this measurement on the hip line, waistline and crouch line and draw a straight line across to connect these points. From the crouch line, mark down 2 to 4 inches and draw a straight line across. This is the hemline. This determines the length of your shorts. I will be using 4 inches. To get our crouch extension or how long our crouch line should be, divide the measurement on your hip line by 2 and mark this on the crouch line. This additional length on the crouch line is called the crouch extension. Now divide your crouch depth measurement into 2 and mark on this line like I'm doing. Your crouch depth, remember, is your waist to chair or seat measurement. Go to the crouch line. At the junction where the old crouch line and the crouch extension meet, go up by 2 inches and mark a diagonal line across. Now draw a curved line from the mark at the middle of the crouch depth, passing through the 2-inch diagonal line to the end of the crouch extension. Use your curved ruler, please. This new curved line is the crouch length. Connect the hemline to the crouch line by drawing a straight line across at the crouch extension. At the center back or the part that has the curve, go in by 1/4 inch at the hemline and mark. Join the 1/4 inch mark at the hemline to the crouch line with a straight line. Also at the side seam, Go in by ½ inch at the hemline. Join the ½ inch mark at the hemline to the crouch line with a straight line. Extend the waistline to the top of the paper. Add ½ inch sewing allowance around the entire crouch length. Add 1 inch sewing allowance at the inseam. At the hemline, add about 1½ to 2 inches allowance. At the side seam, add 1 inch allowance. I will now label the back shorts pattern, and it will be cut into 2 pieces. While drafting the front short pattern, it is important to know that the front short pattern is almost the same as that of the back short. The only difference is in the hip measurement and the crouch length, where the back short is bigger. We'll start now by drawing a straight line at the edge of the paper like we did in the back shorts pattern. At the top of your paper, also go down by 3 inches and draw a straight line across to form the waistline. The 3 inches before the waistline is the channel for the elastic band. From the waistline, go down by your hip depth measurement, which is your waist to hip measurement, and draw a straight line across to form the hip line. Also from the waistline, go down by the crouch depth measurement, which is your waist to your chair measurement, and draw a straight line across to form the crouch line. Label the waistline, hip line, and crouch line. Divide your hip measurement by 4 and subtract ¼ inch. Then mark this on the hip line, waistline, and crouch line, and join these points with your ruler. Divide the hip line measurement by 4 and mark this on the crouch line. This is the crouch extension. From the point where the crouch line and crouch extension join, go up by 1½ inch and mark a diagonal line like I'm doing. Now divide your crotch depth by 2 and mark. Join the crotch extension to the mark we made on the crotch depth, passing through the 1.5 inch diagonal line. This is the crotch length. Go down from the crotch line by 4 inches, then draw a straight line across. This forms the hemline of the front short. Now extend the entire length of the crotch line, which is your crotch line plus the crotch extension, on the hemline and connect this to the crotch line. At the side seam, go in by 1/4 inch, mark and connect to the crotch line. Also go in by 1/2 inch on the side seam, mark and join to the crotch line like we did in the back shots. Then add 1/2 inch sewing allowance around the entire crotch length, 1 inch sewing allowance around the inseam, 1 inch sewing allowance at the side seam, and 1.5 or 2 inches sewing allowance at the hemline, just like we did in that of the back shots. Then cut out your front short pattern. The back short is typically bigger than the front short, as you can see. Now let's go straight to sewing. Start by folding your fabric into 2 right sides to right sides. I'm using about 1 yard of Ankara fabric, so you may need between 1 to 2.5 yards of fabric depending on your size. I wear an extra small to a small size. The next thing you do is to place your back and front patterns on your fabric, pin in place and cut out. Make small notches to know where the hemline starts. After cutting, pin the 2 back short pieces together and then pin the 2 front short pieces together so you are not confused when you're about to sew. Now sew the entire length of both the front and back shorts on a 1/2 inch sewing allowance, press and then come back. After sewing the crotch lengths of the front and back shorts and pressing the seams open, place the 2 shorts right sides to right side and sew the inseam on a 1 inch seam or sewing allowance. The inseam is this part. After joining the inseams and pressing the seams open, your short should be looking like this at this point. Place right sides together and sew along the side seams on a 1 inch sewing allowance and press. This is what your shorts should be looking like now. Go to the waistline and fold in the 3 inch before the waistline. After folding, press with your iron. After pressing, At the inside of the shorts, fold the 3 inches again into 2 and pin in place. This forms the channel for the waistband. Now sew around the folded part with about 1/8 inch to form the channel for the elastic band, but leave about 1.5 inch gap which will be used to pass the elastic band through the channel. After sewing the channel, it should look just like this. The amount of elastic band you need is actually 2/3 or 2/3 of your waist measurement. I will also leave a formula on the screen on how to calculate the amount of elastic band you need at the waist. Pass the elastic band through the channel we created. When you get to the end, sew the ends of the elastic band with a zigzag stitch and close the 1.5 inch gap you left open. Your shorts should be looking like this at this point. Hem your shorts on the 1.5 or 2 inch sewing allowance you added at the hemline. This is the shorts all finished. I love this so much. Don't forget to tag me across all social media platforms if you tried this project with the hashtag #theveronicao or the hashtag sewing with Veronica so I can see your projects. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you get notified anytime I post. Tell me in the comment section if you found this video helpful or if you'll be trying out this project, and please don't forget to share. Thank you and bye bye.